It's a lot of jet fuel just to do a little flyover.
That's your hard-earned money and your tax dollars at work.
That stuff ain't happening with Kamala Biden ticket. I'll tell you that right now.
That is Joe Buck and Troy Aikman sarcastically mocking military flyovers that the NFL conducts for paid patriotism in their taxpayer-funded stadiums.
The Rams cheerleader, her husband August, just came back from serving overseas.
From military men arriving back to greet their cheerleader wives.
Am I being unfair by saying as a fan, I don't want to see politics on game day?
Here's the right wing's response to a T every time.
They become like a political organization, and that's not a good thing.
And the white supremacist president despises the mixing of sports and politics, unless, of course, it's something.
I'm going to be watching Colby. I'm a big fan of Colby. He's a winner. He's a champ. And it's going to be a great evening, a great fight. And I just wish him best of luck. But I've just seen him a lot. And he's tough. Good luck, champ. Thank you. Appreciate it, Mr. President.
Or someone he thoroughly supports. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, longtime partners in the broadcast booth for Fox, expressed their tried and true view of the military's cosplay in NFL stadiums. The transcription goes as follows. That's a lot of jet fuel just to do a little flyover, Joe Buck sarcastically. That's your hard-earned money and your tax dollars at work. And then Aikman sarcastically, that stuff ain't happening with a Kamala Biden ticket. I'll tell you that right now, partner. With the COVID-19 pandemic forcing teams to play games in empty or near empty stadiums, putting on a big pregame display with a flyover doesn't make much sense. Buck and Aikman pointed out just how much a waste flyovers have become this year on Sunday afternoon, though they didn't mean to be heard. Even as coronavirus cases spike in this country through the gross incompetence of the president and his all lives really don't matter cabinet, they chose to masquerade their true feelings with a, hey, look, in the sky, jets, military stuff. No, we don't care your loved ones and friends died because we called this thing a hoax. You thought we did? Here's a jet, though. The decision comes amid Trump's frequent use of military symbolism to convey American strength, sometimes in controversial ways, like the cost, which runs roughly $60,000 per hour to operate. Meanwhile, in hospitals, nurses and doctors use trash bags to fight COVID, and people are dying because the loan money ran out. But, you know, go off, Mr. President. Lest we forget, the inclusion of flyovers and symbolism of the military at sporting events has been a mainstay. The late John McCain and former Senator Jeff Flake found through a joint oversight report, the Pentagon has signed 72 contracts with teams in the NFL, MLB, NHL, and MLS that amounted to paid patriotism. The Pentagon said the payments were part of its recruitment campaigns, which is just disgusting. And you know who despised this thoroughly?
Ben Kiesmolt, I'm a U.S. veteran.
Submarine officer.
Air Force.
Marine.
I was raised as a Republican.
When I served in Afghanistan, I served with women, I served with Muslims, and I served with Latinos. All groups that Donald Trump has maligned and even threatened.
Veterans. To me, it's not something that I see should be flying over a sports stadium before a baseball or football game. You know, these are weapons of death. They may be required, but they certainly shouldn't be celebrated and applauded, said Bill Astor to Howard Bryant. Astor is a retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel. Senate investigators report that the Department of Defense has spent more than $9 million over the last 4 years on military tributes at sporting events. 10 teams were paid handsomely for these displays, including in 2017, finishing 1-2 in paid patriotism, the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots. To learn that these had been paid for, that corporate teams owned by billionaires, basically, we're collecting money from the military, paid for obviously by you and me, by the American taxpayer. Well, it was sad.